those carriers on the way. For now, it's all going to be Stork, really. The ball's in Stork court, clearing up, wow, clearing up a crap load of mines with one single zealot, beautiful there. Just going to allow himself some more positioning later on. You know, Canata's going to move in towards the middle. There are a couple of cannons there as well as Dragoons, so I think that's not going to be pushing. But honestly, I feel this is all going to be Stork here. How will Stork with this dust with attack, losing some Dragoons, some more forces carelessly, not really doing too well there. But if he manages to play off well, he has enough bases to support. As long as he does enough damage, fights that army with a ground army carrier mix, he's going to be in a pretty good position. It's all going to be how well Canata fights his back as he's moving towards the natural expansion with Crapito Vultures. Some Goliaths coming in to support right now.
I don't know if Stork's going to have a chance to push this back. He's only got 2 carriers right now. We might be able to get another round, might be able to get up to 4 carriers. But I don't know if that's enough. I mean, Canata's already taken out that mineral-only 4th base. He's pushing it at the natural expansion. And I don't know if Stork's going to be able to push back this push at the natural expansion. And I think he's being forced to reveal his carriers now. He's only got like 3 or 4 right now. And I'm sure that they're not all loaded up with interceptors. And he's forced to reveal it right now. And that's not a good spot for him right now. And they just do not have the interceptor numbers. Look at that. Look at that. There's a measly 4 interceptors in the air. And there are no Goliaths there. And still those carriers are not going to be able to do that much damage. This ground army is just streaking in for Canata, just completely ignoring the carriers. And they're still going to be able to do so much damage. They might be able to take down, they're probably going to take down this entire Nexus. And might even be able to start pushing up into the main while Canata builds up some carrier or some Goliath forces. Some nice storms going down there from Stork. I'm interested to know, in that big fight that we saw, Stork only had like 3 or 4 storms. Just think if he had like 8 or 9, but he had to use like 3 or 4 on that spot at the 6 o'clock position to defend his natural expansion. If he had another 3 or 4 storms, this could be a very, very different game right now with some well-timed storms there. That natural expansion base did go down. I assume that the mineral only, if not dead, is very nearly dead by now. And Canata's just going to be able to set up a very, very nice contain, and Stork's, I actually think that Stork's going to be in a tough spot to really get out of here right now. 4 carriers will do a decent job in terms of clearing away some turrets and some Goliaths, but it doesn't look like he really has the Dragoon army. He has that 1 force that we're seeing right now with the shuttle, but that's not a very large force, and I don't foresee it being able to take on a head-on engagement, even with carriers. I don't think that'll be really enough to take a head-on engagement with the main brunt of Canata's army. Canata timing this attack out very well for hitting Stork while his carriers were not really at their prime position right now. And once again, Canata's going to come in here and going to defend this 3 o'clock base that he took, the island expansion. I think he's going to be, well, pretty okay to defend against it, especially if he can bring in a dropship, he'll be A-okay. But it does look like maybe 6 carriers are out right now, and they're starting to hit a good solid number. But we do see Canata with a large group of Goliaths. Actually, that's only a small group, but I'm sure he has more producing at home, and he does have like 8 or 9 factories. He has the bases to produce against it. And he's trying to defend this 3 o'clock base. Maybe if Stork can take down the 3 o'clock base, he might be able to work his way back into here, but I don't think he's going to be able to. And as the Goliath number grows, I really think that it's going to roll into Canata's favor, because I think Canata will be able to take down the base at the top right pretty easily. The carriers for Stork are not going to be able to get there to defend, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing some storms going down there, some DTs, but it's not going to be enough, and I think the entire base at the top right is going to go down. And then at that point, Stork will just be starved out given time. I think he'll be starved out, and it'll just come down to his carrier micro, and we can hope, if anyone can pull off carrier micro, if anyone has, I just think Stork has the best like aerial micro in the world. For Corsair Reaver versus Zerg, he's probably got the best Corsair Reaver. For carrier micro, he probably has the best carrier micro. So if anyone can pull this off, it would be Stork. But I think that with this loss of his base at the top right, with the loss of that mineral only, it's going to be a struggle for him, as he's not really going to be able to mine, and he's not really going to be able to produce a large ground force to really supplement his carriers.
Yeah, Nuke's crying right now as he's watching Stork. I know he's already seen this game. He didn't spoil it for me, didn't tell me what happens, but I'm sure he was crying as he was watching this. His tears glistening in the night. Okay, let's see. These carriers are going to try to go for this mineral only, at least try to pick it up, but a lot of Goliaths in that position. They have a decent number, but he loses it upper right hand. Did do a lot of damage to Canata's island expansion 3 o'clock, but not taking it out was critical. Didn't even manage to take out the refinery. Gonna try to go for that again. It has DTs moving in that position, so at least that's gonna help. Gonna be able to take out that tank and at least force a float, force the fact there's not gonna be any mining there. Stork here catching some Goliaths and some Goliaths boxed in, not really having the intercept number he needs to try to micro against the Goliaths. The intercept is just dying, and Stork, yeah, in a position to GG. He's gonna GG in a second. He's not even playing at the moment. He's no, he's lost. This Canata has just countered him perfectly, really. Stork didn't manage to do any sort of really heavy economic damage at any point, except very late in the game when it was already too late after a lot of economic damage had been done to him. I felt at some points he played a little bit sloppily, really just getting some of his forces picked off here and there. Gonna try to pull out of his natural here, but only with Dragoons. Zealots coming in from behind. Try to support this with carriers, so we might actually be able to clean this up, but still now getting shelled at his, I believe that is 9 o'clock island. Is going to be able to clear up some tank numbers, but honestly, even if he manages to push out here, he's not going to be in an overall good position. Goliaths are coming in here, going to be able to start picking off interceptors. Also turrets to help support. Carriers going to be forced back. Honestly, I feel having gone for carriers was not the best move for Stork. He's very good with carriers, but I honestly feel Arbiters would have been a better choice. I think going for some recalls would have been definitely viable. Going recalling inside of Canata's base would have definitely forced Canata back inside and kind of held him in. But having gone for those carriers didn't give him as much maneuverability as I think he would have wanted, and just not being allowed to freely move around as much as he wanted. He had a couple of shuttles around, but now natural expansion, Canata's going to move in, going to pick off all those carriers, all those interceptors. Not even bothering to kill the carriers, doesn't really need to, just picks off those interceptors because he can. And Stork's moving in with a bunch of DTs, but as soon as the scan goes out, that's all going to go down. Trying to mine natural expansion, but everybody's pretty much waiting for a GG at this point. Stork still being irritating with DTs at the island expansion, still getting some storms off, but really no chance. Moving with carriers to do some sort of damage, only because he knows his Goliaths are away, but his mining is so little. He's just was mining at natural expansion, that's dead. He's only mining at the island. I think he has possibly a probe at the upper left him to try to take a base up, but he's not really microing at all anymore. He's just can't really believe that he's getting knocked out so early, and honestly, neither can I.
Yeah, it's a real tragedy. I mean, you could watch it in his hands, his body. He got the Stork slump going, and it looked like his APM dropped down to like 80 or something there. It was just really sad. And yeah, we are going to see Stork fall. This is just sort of his death throes right now. I think he was hoping if he could take down that mineral only, maybe he could work his way into it. But it doesn't seem like he even has the money to build mass interceptors. And now he's just floating his carriers in. I think he's just asking to die, allowing Canata to just kill him off. Now that's just funny. Stork taking it and accepting his loss. Not that was kind of funny. That's kind of a nice way to go out for Stork. Just taking his beating and sacrificing his carriers. I kind of like that. But definitely a sad thing to see Stork knocked out of an MSL early on. I love seeing him later on, and I don't think there's anyone that's really happy to see Canata move on over Stork. I'm sure that there's some Canata fanboys out there for some reason that would rather see him than Stork, but overall I think StarCraft fans in general are going to be disappointed to see Stork fall so early.
Yeah, sad to see. Whenever I watch Stork and Bisu in the same Star League, I'm always screaming Bork, Bork, because I always want to see those two guys play against each other in a 5-game set. Because then I know I can drag Nuke into a duel where we both just become absolute fanboys and scream like little girls. But that's not going to happen here. The dream is dead. Canata going to have a chance against Movie in the final match. We're going to see whether he joins By Hero in the round of 16. So thanks, Deja, for joining me. GG, guys. Ranching out. Thanks for listening.